I hope you're doing well. I'm Jake. I'm a big fan of making music, and one of the coolest things I get to do as a musician is to work with guitar effect pedals. You definitely don't need to have any effects to start writing your own songs, learning an instrument, playing in a band, playing shows. But effects add a sparkle to everything we get to do as musicians, and it's just plain fun. Now, there's all sorts of effects out there. You've got distortion, modulation, compression, pitch effects. But one of the most ubiquitous sounds that you've probably heard on every record you ever listened to was delay, and its close cousin, reverb. Delay is when you hear the sound duplicated. So I play a note, it bounces off the back wall, and it comes back and I hear it again. Reverb is similar to delay, but the repeats of the delays are so close together that now you're just hearing a wash of sounds. And these effects go great together, which is why a lot of manufacturers put these in one pedal. A great example of this pedal that I have on my board is Earthquaker's Avalanche Run pedal. This pedal does both delay and reverb. You can adjust the order of the two effects to get different sounds, and it can give you everything from just a touch of the delay and reverb to just kind of liven up your sound to the full-on wash of crazy delay effects. Let's take a listen to some of those sounds. Okay, so I'm set up here at my pedal board. This is the Avalanche Run. What a beautiful pedal, first of all. I love these mountains and clouds. The bottom row is going to control the reverb settings, and the top row is going to control the delay settings. You can see with this light here that the pedal's actually engaged, but both of these have mix knobs. And those mix knobs are going to set how much of the effect is in your signal path. With the mix knobs in the position that they're in now, there's not going to be any effects in the signal at all, and here's what that sounds like. So yeah, just a very typical, dry, clean guitar tone. Let me blend in a little bit of this reverb so we can hear what that sounds like. And so as you can hear, very, very musical reverb sound there. I like to keep this decay knob right here kind of low, just because, I really don't need more than a touch of it as sort of my baseline tone. But then I'll leave that effect on for, basically the entire time that I'm playing. Let me just crank that decay up, though, so you can hear what that sounds like. So really a lot of, beautiful textures going on there in those longer decays. You can even send this all the way to the moon, and here's what that sounds like. And as you can hear, that really does just go for miles. And as the reverb trails off, you're just hearing all of this warbling and modulation. It's all very, very musical. And so depending on the situation, that might be exactly what I want. But I'm just going to back this stuff down, just so we have something a little bit more reasonable to work with. I'll actually turn the mix on the reverb all the way off, and let's just take a look at the delay side. And so this knob up here is going to set the time of the delays. If I turn it this way, we're going to get slower delays. And so you really can get some long delay times. You can also set the delay time with this foot switch. And so if you just tap it, now all of a sudden we've reset the time. Now, in addition to this time knob up here, we also have this switch over here. That's going to set the subdivisions of the delay time. So if I tap out a tempo, in this position I'm going to get quarter notes. But then I flick the switch and I get different subdivisions at that same tempo. See, it's a little faster. That can be great if you've got a tempo that you're working on for a session, but you want to get some, offbeat delay sounds. And you can even get those really, really fast ones like that. So really just versatile stuff as far as the time of the delays. I'm going to set this back somewhere a little bit more reasonable. Now, this knob is going to control the number of repeats. So if I crank that up, the delays are going to continue on for longer. Now if I turn it to about 3 o'clock, something really magical happens. And then the last knob that's up there is the tone knob. So this is going to set the tone of the delays. If I send it clockwise, the delays are going to get brighter. You can really hear how bright that is. And that can be really great to help the delays sort of sit somewhere a little differently in the mix. You can also make them darker by going backwards. Here's what that sounds like. And that can be just awesome for like a really somber sound. Here's what it's like all the way down. And I would say I generally like to keep it around like 1 or 2 o'clock. Make it a little bit brighter than my clean tone, but nothing crazy. But as you can see, it's really, really versatile, even just in that sort of standard format. The last switch here is this expression pedal switch. There is an expression pedal output on the pedal, but I don't actually use that. It's actually right here on the left, and I can't get to it the way that it's set up on my board. But that's okay. I'm mostly using this in a recording studio situation anyway. Now where this pedal gets really interesting is that in addition to this standard mode that we've been in, there are actually two other modes. If I switch over to the right on the switch, we're going to be in the swell mode. And that's really more focused on the reverb side to give you like a swell reverb sound. The mix knob, I believe it's the mix knob, is going to control the time of the swells. I mean, listen to that. And then obviously the decay is still going to do its thing, so if I turn that up, it's really going to wash out. Really, really awesome stuff. On the left here, we have reverse mode. And all reverse mode is going to do is it's going to put the reverb in front of the delay. Generally, the school of thought is that your delays come first and then your reverbs would come afterwards. But that is really just a suggestion. The reason that that's sort of our standard MO is that that's how it works out in the wild, right? If you're in a mountainous, area or like a cave or something, and you scream, you're going to get your delays first, and then the reverbs are going to follow afterwards. But we get this really cool effect where we switch those two, and now all of a sudden, all of the wash from your reverb is going to go into your delays, and it basically just makes this bigger, more extreme sound. You can also hear that on the delay side, it's doing a reverse delay effect. All that really is the pedal is taking a snapshot of your signal and it's reversing the sound. A really, really wacky effect that I think came around in like the late 90s with the DL4. Just a really, really interesting sound that you get to add. The last thing I'll say about this pedal is, as you can see, it's very easy to get in there and dial in something that you're thinking of. Whether I want just like a tiny touch of delay and reverb as sort of my always on delay and reverb sound, I can definitely do that here very easily just by bringing these mix knobs down, keeping the decay kind of brief, switching to the normal mode, and there I go. But then if I want to get freaky with it, I can go to swell mode. I can crank these knobs up. And if I really want to mess with people, I can just switch over to the reverse mode. And to me, that really is the magic of this pedal, and that's why I think it's probably one of the best delay reverb pedals that I've used, and probably one of my favorite pedals on this entire board. Is it's just so easy to get in there and tweak the knobs the way that I want to tweak them. To me, that's kind of like the essence of like being a creative, is having a tool that you don't have to dive through menus. You're just kind of looking at the knobs and you can say, well, I want to do this. And then you go and do it in a matter of a couple seconds. All right, so I'll just kind of switch back to this normal mode. And I'll take us out with a little jam using that sort of infinite repeats glitch that you get by cranking up the repeats knob. Man, what an awesome pedal. As you just heard, the Avalanche Run can do a wide range of sounds, everything from just a touch of that delay reverb to give you a little bit of life, all the way to the full-on crazy. If you're thinking about adding either a delay or a reverb to your board, I would definitely recommend this pedal. Can't say enough good things about it. If you found this video helpful, a like would go a long way. If you've got a friend who's thinking about adding a delay or a reverb to their board, definitely send them this video. They should check out this pedal. Now that's it for this one, and until next time, let's go make some music.